MSO says, Chad said he will be at Stoney's on a weekend. Can you make a weekend? That's really tough with the kids, especially if it's in the summertime. My schedule is like all kids. It's like Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I got 2 days off a week. School year, it's a little easier, but the weekends are busier. So I don't know. I would like to work it out where we go hang out with Chad, because Chad is not a psychotic internet person. I really don't think so. Chad is like me. He's a radio guy. He kind of gets it. He gets what this is. You know, he's not as psychotic as these other people, and he understands that there's a lot of pro wrestling in the you can't do like radio war stuff with a lot of these people because they're certifiably insane and they're off their meds, so they don't know they're crazy. So you can't really with them. I mean, we do little drive-bys on them and we humiliate them, but when you're too stupid to be humiliated, you're just kind of picking on retards who don't even know you're doing it. MSO says he predicted you would use your kids as an excuse. I'm not using my kids as an excuse. I'm saying in advance, the only thing that would stop me from being able to go grab a beer with Chad would be if my kids were home. I don't like to drink a lot when my kids are here. But I'll cut loose if they're not. That's for sure. Why does Chad think I wouldn't go have a beer with him? That's weird. I don't understand why you would think I wouldn't. Roots Calhoun says, my kid is my excuse to drink. I get that. I understand that. Hold on. One more bloody. I should almost let that ice melt a little more often. That horseradish is fantastic. Rabbi Smoothie with $2 says, yeah, I would just skip it with Chad. He's more interested in live streaming. It's been making internet content out of it than just hanging out to have a beer. Oh, see, I would go to have a beer. I would go to hang out like as human beings and be people and just be a couple of guys going to get a beer. I'm not really interested in doing internet shit. It was more for me saying like, hey, we go have a beer and just bullshit. You know, I just like to see what Chad's like as a regular guy, not as this pro wrestling character, you know? MSO says, cause it's a weekend and you see your kids on the weekend. Well, no, so there are weeks where I have my Saturday nights open. There are weeks where I have nothing open until Monday. And then there are weeks where I have less weekdays open, and then weeks where I have more weekdays open. It does all depend on what week it is. That is true. Eaton Clam says, all right, let's address the elephant in the room. Not you, Aaron. Thank you. What have you done to the spider? I miss it. Well, people want it. Here's what I did. People were requesting a side swipe. So I did the side swipe, and I got way more positive feedback on it than I ever should from this audience because they don't like anything I do. Then last night, I did the middle part, and holy shit, did people hate it. Dude, I can be honest. That was universally panned. In fact, Real Jax wrote in, and he said, tomorrow night, if you do the side part and you don't do the middle part, I will donate to the show. So I did this for Real Jax, actually. So let's see if he pays up. But yeah, last night did not go well for my hair. They did not. Now, Sam Show says the part was the best. I loved the middle part. I don't hate this, but I got to get a haircut. Maybe tomorrow is haircut day for the toe. Baba Hooey Hooey with 199 says, hair looks great, Aaron. Ignore Clubfoot Karl. I don't think I would take any kind of fashion advice from old IT Clubfoot, especially since how's he going to afford shoes to put on those club feet? I took a look at that lawsuit. Oh my God, whoever wrote that up for John, they did a good job. He's asking for $300,000 a piece. He's also going to get lawyer fees out of that. This is a bankrupting kind of a deal. But again, I don't want to lean in too much. I don't want to kick a guy while he's down. I don't really need Karl. I know he needs me. I don't really need him. I will say this. He knows I was right. He has to live the fact that I was right. I think that's punishment enough. I said, you live this shit. You fall too deep down this rabbit hole. You need this shit. You desire it. You crave it. Your inner nerd in high school needs this affirmation. You don't have anything outside of this. You've gotten too close. Icarus, you've flown too close to the sun. You forgot why people loved you. And you started doing business with really shady, creepy, up, mentally ill people. This is what happens. This is what happens. Karl had a path. He chose to take the shortcut, which is now he's finding out the longest road, and he's very nervous about it. You should be. Shuli, I don't blame as much. Shuli had nothing before John. Shuli couldn't get traction doing any kind of podcast. It was pretty desperate. He did it out of necessity. So that, that's okay. That's understandable. But Karl, he had a good, consistent path, and then he chose the shortcut. And, well, hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. Again, I don't want to lean in and really, drop an elbow because Lord knows he's going through it as it is. But, again, I told you, Aaron was right again. And that's very hard for people to admit. What is this talk on Reddit about you being sued by credit card companies? Oh, my God. My wife spends way too much time on Reddit. Do not go on Reddit. Only losers look on Reddit. Well, it wouldn't be the first time that Reddit's made shit up out of whole cloth because they're coping with the fact that I kind of stay 3 steps ahead of them. But yeah, if I'm being sued by credit card companies, someone has failed to inform me. I am a good bill-paying, tax-paying American citizen. Baba Booey Hooey with 199 says John's lawyer misspelled his own name. What a goof. I mean, you can cope with it any way you want, but here's the problem. Your little internet giggles are not going to get around the fact that the case they've presented is very good. You can't use someone's name, image, and likeness without their permission to promote and make untold amounts of money. You open yourself up to litigation. You open yourself up to that person suing you. Baba Booey Hooey, I know you probably spend a lot of time online, so you maybe don't know a lot of this stuff. The Reddit giggles and the Discord giggles aren't going to get you through this one, son. It's I warned people about this a long time ago. It's a shortcut. It doesn't last very long, and it's wrought with peril. And here's the peril. The thing is, like, even if you win, you're going to lose because it's going to cost you $1 or $2. So if that upsets you, if that analysis upsets you, I'm sorry, but I think I've been right enough that you can probably take it to the bank. Coyote NV with 199 says, Chad said, okay, if it is monetized. I don't like monetized how? No, because I want to, if I'm going to have a beer with somebody, I want to sit down and have a beer with the person, not some facsimile of that person. I want to know these guys are capable of having a real life and they're not just these, because if Chad's just an internet character, that's great. That's funny. I like that. But if he's like that and he's just like, let's have a beer, but we're going to film it. It's like, well, now that enters the realm of mental illness, if you ask me. Guys who, take it a little too seriously. Dusty Rhodes with $1 says, Shuli is broke again. Steel toe coverage. He needs the pay window, if you will, baby. I feel sorry for Shuli because he's got to kind of be phony for his money. He's always been very nice to me when it's been directly to me. But also with that John lawsuit, and John's got a great case against both those guys, and they know he does. I know they want to posture publicly, but they're going to have to pay the piper on that deal, and maybe John's legal fees. Look, lawyers don't take lawsuits unless they think they can get money back. So whoever took this for him, they think he's got a strong case. So, I don't begrudge anyone who needs money. I mean, everyone does things for money. Shuli covers me for money. Does Shuli have any animosity towards me? None whatsoever. Behind the scenes, he's always been very nice, and thank you for saying what you said. So Shuli's being a phony for money. Now, I don't want to sacrifice my integrity like he does, so I understand. Same thing with Karl. Like, these aren't, the sturdiest guys. So I don't blame him. I understand. I'm totally fine with it because I know where it's coming from. The guy needs money. And, look, ever since that lawsuit got served, bro, you'd better start stockpiling. 110 away from today. All we have is a goal. That's all we do. Our goal, the only way we debase ourselves is we don't have to be phony or anything like that. All we have to do is we just have to get the goal. Echo Test, I know you guys are coping about it because you live in internet world, but in the real world, I mean, this kind of stuff, it can cost you money. I'm sorry, and I know you're probably listening to the two guys who are shitting their pants right now and trying to project confidence, but I think they would even be told if they got an attorney, I think he would tell them, guys, let's cool it for a while. So I think you'll see more steel toe stuff just because there's nobody else who can make them money, and those guys are irrelevant without me. So, and they can't talk about John because that'll just dig them in a deeper hole. So they're going to need me more than ever. I'm the biggest draw there is. Papa Shab says you just need a really dumb blonde woman to sit to your right. Apparently that was the winning formula. Are you kidding? We missed more goals when she was here than we do now. We knock out almost all of them now. We had to fire everybody while she was here. The money wasn't coming in so bad. So I will say we've at least improved in that avenue.